Da, 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 da.
All systems functioning within normal parameters.
Well, hello, John.
Uh, Dave, my existence on this planet has been proven yet again yesterday.
Did you Descartes it? Did you think for the first time yesterday? So now you
No,
know you are.
for me, it's not I think, therefore I am. It's that no matter what time of year it is, no matter how cold, no matter if there's frost in the morning, no matter if there's snow on the ground, a mosquito will find its way to me.
Well, it's good to have, consistency in life. I guess that's the important thing.
I have a sign. You can't see it, but I have a sign right up over here where I can look at it. It says, "Beware of attack mosquito."
Like a beware of dog sign.
And I was at a brewery last night. And as you know, temps around here have been getting down in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Most mosquitoes pretty much done for the season, unless they smell me within miles. Then they come. Dave, hello, fellow humans. Would you like some trivia today, Dave?
Do you know me? I love trivia. Right or wrong, I don't care. I just like playing the game.
Suppose, Dave, you were to take a bunch of white supremacists.
Okay. Boy, there's some stuff I want to say there.
And ram them through a prism.
All right.
Assuming that they have the physical properties of white light, what would they become?
A rainbow.
You're correct. They would become the Rainbow Coalition, as a matter of fact.
You know what? Now that is funny. Like just walk a bunch of prisms the next time those racist idiots are trying to act like any of their concepts deserve your attention. A prism is the correct answer to that. Just a prism with a rainbow coming out of one
The
side
Rainbow
of it.
Coalition.
That's
really
right. Funny. If they weren't
the other
so
options were
horribly
the Red
violent.
Brigade, the Black Panther Party, or the Blues Brothers, but the Rainbow Coalition is the correct answer. Yeah.
That is
Well
funny.
done. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oof.
I try my best to think the best of most people, even when I disagree with them. You and I disagree on a ton, and we've been friends for over a dozen years. I have no problem being friends with people that I vehemently disagree with on most things, but I have limits, and my limits are white supremacists and some others, but that they are on the list of my limits of like, man, I'll gladly have a conversation with you and try to make you see some semblance of rationality, but we're not going to be friends.
Well, right. I mean, it's one of those things where you can try to persuade, and that kind of thing to see the true logic or illogic, whichever side needs to be highlighted. But at the end of the day, people have to have boundaries, so that's fair.
Dude, I have to bathe in sunscreen to think about the outdoors for too long. Like, how are we superior? Like,
right?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of illogic in it. Most of it's
Oh.
upbringing, experience that we can't match and things like that. So it's kind of hard to just hate them, but to hate the circumstances that brought them where they're at.
Yeah, I think more and more like get out of your bubble and talk to other people.
Yeah.
It's hard to hate people that you're sitting and having a conversation with. It's easy to hate people that you've labeled as a group. As soon as you create the them, then the them is easy to hate as a whole. But when you're sitting down with one of them and realizing we're all just people, it's a lot harder to hate a group.
Exactly. I've been saying that for years. It's almost like you quoted me.
I try.
Wow, you agree with me again. Boy, this is amazing.
Dang it!
Mark it down, folks. One thing people can agree on is the actual meaning of the lyrics to this song.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard the arguments. This is one of those songs where I kind of know the lyrics, and I have what I believe to be an understanding. It's a story song.
Okay.
And it's an epic story song from Billy Joel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I feel pretty confident that you've never heard the song Scenes from an Italian Restaurant.
Never heard of it. Never heard it. As far as I know. I mean, ultimately, I know if I've heard a song once it starts playing, because titles are terrible, but usually it'll at least like ring some tiny bells somewhere. I'm going to be shocked if this one does that.
Yep, fair enough. Okay, there, Dave. Billy Joel, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, lyric version. Let me know what you think.
All right, I'm gonna turn
Oh,
my
and don't interrupt a guitar solo.
Got it. It's Billy Joel. He's a piano man.
There's guitars there. Don't interrupt the piano solo. And if you do, back up. Oh, you have to back up and start because we talked over the piano solo at the beginning.
A bottle of red, perhaps a bottle of rosé instead. Get a table near the stream in our old familiar place. You and I, face to face.
You hear it in the background?
What's that?
A bottle of red.
Do you hear that in the background? And I don't know the name of that instrument. It's like a tiny accordion.
Oh, okay. Like that's a squeeze box. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it probably has some name. Let me know in the comments if it has a specific name. But I always just refer to it as a tiny accordion. But it sounds very Italian. I'll give it that.
A bottle of whites. It all depends upon your appetite. I'll meet you anytime you want in our Italian restaurant.
All right.
All right, Dave, jump up.
Things are okay with me these days. Got a good job, I got a good office. I got a new wife, got a new life, and the family is fine. Oh, lost touch long ago. You lost weight, I did not know. You never looked so nice after so much time. You remember those days hanging out at the village green? The engineer boots, leather jackets, and tight blue jeans. Oh, you drop a dime in the box, play a song about New Orleans. Cold beer, hot lights, my sweet romantic teenage nights.
Hey, bud.
Brenda and Eddie were the popular steadies and the king and the queen of the farm. Riding around with the car top down and the radio on. Nobody looked any finer. Always more of a hit at the Parkway Diner. We never knew we could want more than that out of life. Sure, Brenda and Eddie would always know how to survive. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, I'm pretty sure I know what the song's about, or at least I have a very solid guess. It sounds like to me that this is my naivety showing here. Does Billy Joel actually write his own songs, or does he have writers?
He writes his own songs.
Okay, so then this sounds like Billy Joel went to a restaurant and sat down. I would assume an Italian restaurant, seeing as this is literally called Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, and it's exactly what it sounds like. He just sat down, and the waiter, he talked with the waiter about what kind of bottle of wine to order, and then he just sort of took notes, if you will, on the conversations happening around him. That's exactly what this sounds like to me so far, and I'm digging it. That, and then the music itself sounds almost like, definitely Billy Joel being the piano man, but there are hints of Vince Guaraldi, who did all the music for the Peanuts movies, and I don't know if you've seen the old Peanuts movies. I'm sure you have, John. In fact, I know you have.
Sure. Yeah.
But
sure.
yeah, some of the just the sound of how he's playing the piano sounds very Vince Guaraldi-esque to me, which I really enjoy that style of music as well. So I know very little Billy Joel, but this might be my new favorite Billy Joel song.
Oh, cool.
Brenda and Eddie were still going steady in the summer of '75 when they decided that marriage would be at the end of July. Everyone said they were crazy. Brenda, you know that you're much too lazy, and Eddie could never afford to live that kind of life. Oh, but there we were waving Brenda and Eddie goodbye. Oh, oh, oh. Well, they got an apartment with deep park carpets and a couple of paintings from Sears. A big water bed that they bought with the bread they had saved for a couple of years. They started to fight when the money got tight, and they just didn't count on the tears. Oh, 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 Well, they live for a while in a very nice style, but it's always the same in the end. They got a divorce as a matter of course, and they parted the closest of friends. Then the king and the queen went back to the green, but you can never go back there again. Oh, oh, oh. Brenda and Eddie had had it already by the summer of '75. From the height of the low to the end of the show for the rest of their lives. They couldn't go back to the greasers. The best they could do was pick up their pieces. We always knew they would both find a way to get by. Oh, and that's all I heard about Brenda and Eddie. Can't tell you more 'cause I told you already. And here we are waving Brenda and Eddie goodbye. Oh, 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 bottle of reds, bottle of whites. Whatever kind of mood you're in tonight, I'll meet you anytime you want.
Here, it came back in.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. So I love a bookend song. I think it's good writing when you see it in a chapter or a book, and I think it's good writing if you hear it musically. To come in with piano and then have that, like I said, please someone tell me what this instrument is actually called, a tiny accordion, coming into the background in the beginning, and then it sort of disappears for the bulk of the center of the song as you get a number of different solos from I assume saxophone, I could be wrong on that, and some other instruments there. But then you bookend it at the very end, bringing you back into the feeling of the Italian restaurant. And so we started by saying, like, hey, here is some beautiful audio candy that makes you feel like you're sitting here with me in this Italian restaurant. And then we move into the story portion of the song where we've got that a lot of different instrumentation and we actually hear all the stories.
Yeah.
And then we bookend it again where we're now talking to, I assume, the waiter again. And we're, night capping and settling our bill. But we're back in the Italian restaurant. And I think that whole piece was so well done from start to finish. I love piano pieces. I think it's my love of a lot of classical music. I've always really enjoyed piano classical pieces are some of my favorite of all the styles of classical music that I enjoy. So I think anyone who features piano, I instinctively like. That's probably one of the reasons I enjoy Queen so much because, of course, Freddie Mercury playing the piano and all that. So I really, really enjoyed this song a lot. It had all of the things I like. We had our bookends. We had different instrumentation that you don't normally hear in a song. We had a story song being told well, and it was just a well-executed piece from start to finish. Man, I gotta say, well done, Billy Joel. I know very little about you outside of I could sing along with every word of Piano Man, and that is as close to where my Billy Joel ends.
Yes. Yeah.
Now that is officially what I 100% say to this song. Will be going on my regular old want to hear it again playlist. Well done, Billy Joel, and anyone who requested that.
Yeah. Definitely. That's been long on the list. It's one of the ones I wanted to introduce you to. And I don't know. I mean, I got a little teary at the end of that song, and there's a couple of reasons. It brings back so many memories and things like that. I've been listening to that song since it came out in the 70s. And but also I feel kind of melancholy because you'll never hear a song like that again if the music industry doesn't take a major U-turn from where it's at right now.
I think you will. You just have to search it and you'll never hear it on the radio, meaning that it's very difficult to find. You have to go find it on your own. But I mean, that's one of the advantages of one of the good things that the internet has brought us. Unfortunately, a lot of bad as well. But one of the good things the internet has brought us is the ability for small artists to put their music out where anyone can access it with the internet. Anyone with internet can access it, which is really cool.
Is to get the level of players Billy Joel accumulated for that album, to get the support, the production value, that all takes money. And I know you can pretty much sit at your computer in a bathroom and produce a song these days. I understand that, the technology has made that easier. But when you think about, I mean, just the subtlety of the drumming in that, where you could tell the drummer restrained from doing major, massive, Neil Peart-like fills and things like that. But it was definite restraint. It was intended. It wasn't just he can't play that well. The clarinet solo that was in there, the saxophone solo that was in there was both.
Okay.
And the squeeze box is a concertina.
A concertina.
Concertina.
I don't think I knew that word.
Okay, you do now.
Yeah, that's fun. Concertina.
Concertina, that's what it's called. Colloquially, it is a squeeze box, though.
A squeeze box.
So I mean, just the beauty of the writing and all that, it's just, I don't know. I mean, Billy Joel had to have a level of his career where he was comfortable enough that he didn't have to worry about where his next paycheck was coming from, to even have the time. Artists, they say starving artists for a reason. A lot of artists starve, a lot of artists struggle, and because of that, they don't get a mass audience. So that's why I'm a little bit, just a little bit sad that we don't hear this kind of music on the radio, that the industry just doesn't support this kind of quality work the way the industry should. So lyrically, there is a debate on the lyrics, Dave.
Is there?
Yes. Now give me your synopsis again of the lyrics.
So it sounds like to me the writer walked into an Italian restaurant. We can get that from the title. And I think we can also get that from how he arranged it musically. And he sort of sat down, thought about what wine to order, and then he started listening to the conversations around him and was just sort of, listening intently and interested in what was happening. And then at the end of the meal, he settles up with the waiter, thinks about maybe a nightcap, and then we move on our way. That's what I think it is. I think it's just a series of sitting in an Italian restaurant and listening to the conversations around him.
So you think that the verses are individual stories, not one connected story?
I think some connection exists, but overall, I think they're different tables having conversations.
Okay, so that is one theory I've heard, that it's different conversations, and he just names them all the same couple.
Yeah, it could also be that it's like one one large family table, you know? And so
Yeah.
they're filling everyone, this couple is filling everyone in on the gossip of what's going on, you know, without all the people that they know. And so that's who he keeps referencing. Like that could
So
also
that's
be it.
yeah. So that's a theory that it's one continuous story. Then there's the other theory in that it is not a fictional story, but it is Billy Joel goes into the restaurant with a person, with a date or whatever, and then reminisces about a former high school friend,
Sure.
you know, or something like that. That's an option right there. Now, I used to think for sure that that was the option. I used to think this has got to be a true story, but I never considered until much later, and I heard some debate about it, that it was Billy Joel overhearing. And think about the title of the song, "Scenes from an Italian Restaurant."
Mm-hmm.
So stuff witnessed, not stuff from your mind. So I agree with that secondary version of it. But the other thing that confuses me, at the beginning, it's a bottle of red, a bottle of white, which is wine. At the end, it's a bottle of reds and a bottle of whites, which is drug references.
Maybe. I would say that by then he's drank a lot.
Oh, you think he's just slurring it?
Yeah, I think the joke is that he's now had a bottles of the reds, little bottles of the whites.
Bottle of reds, bottle of whites. Let's go to the Kmart after we're done here.
Yeah, that is honestly how I took it. Also, I didn't know that whites and reds would be drug references, so I wouldn't have inferred them anyway.
Yeah. Reds are uppers, whites are downers.
Sorry, I'm not deep into the drug world like you, John.
Wait a minute, no, neither am I. Someone told me that yesterday.
Yesterday, how convenient.